theory is that we should investigate everything strange that happened on that day so we can figure out what happened.
Erika Kirk, well, I'm not ready to say this isn't, I'm not disparaging her. She owns an orphanage out of the Ukraine.
As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time.
Y'all, Candace Owens is claiming that Erika Kirk has secret plans to open an orphanage in Venezuela, and people are saying this isn't some random charity idea either. They're saying Trump himself may be backing it. And before you think this sounds far-fetched, let's look at what just happened. Trump just oversaw the capture of Venezuela's president, Nicolás Maduro, announced that the US will now help run the country until there's a so-called transitional government. And suddenly Venezuela is wide open. And whenever that happens, you already know what comes next. Certain people get access and fast approvals. And that's where Erika Kirk enters the picture, because Erika has already had overseas organizations before, including one tied to Romania. So people are asking, what exactly would stop Trump from sanctioning another one, this time in Venezuela, under Erika's name, especially with all the unrest going on right now? An orphanage sounds good on paper, humanitarian, emotional, hard to question. But Candace Owens is saying this isn't about helping kids at all. In her view, this looks like another power move dressed up as charity. And once she started explaining why, people started listening more closely. Because Candace didn't ease into it at all. She went straight at the Trump administration after US forces captured Nicolás Maduro, and she was like, nope, we've seen this movie before. She straight up said this looks like another US-made regime change and compared Venezuela to Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq being liberated. And yeah, we all remember how that went. Long wars, non-stop chaos, and countries left way worse than before. Like nothing ever actually got fixed, just dragged out for years. Candace didn't stop there either. She took it even further and straight up said the CIA pulled off another hostile takeover, and in her mind, this had nothing to do with safety or justice. She was basically like, this is about powerful people getting what they want, period. She also said every time this kind of thing happens, the same groups start cheering because it usually means land, oil, or resources are about to change hands. And whether you agree with her or not, that part hit a nerve because she wasn't just saying it for shock value. She pointed right at history. The US went into Afghanistan after 9/11, stayed there for almost 20 years, then dipped and left the Taliban right back in charge. Iraq got invaded over weapons that were never even found, and that turned into years of chaos and violence. Syria didn't get fully invaded, but there have still been airstrikes and troops involved for years. So when Candace says she's seen this play before, people get exactly what she means. Then, the MAGA side of the internet jumped in, but from a totally different angle. Megyn Kelly reposted this comment basically saying, if the administration really wants people to buy into this, they need to show real results, not just talk. The post was like, okay, if the US is really running Venezuela now, where's the proof? Where are the videos? Show people illegal Venezuelans being sent back home. Give Americans something they can point to and say, yeah, this actually did something. And right after that, Trump comes out saying Maduro is going to be charged in the US for drug-related crimes. Now look, most people heard that and were like, okay, drugs are serious, no one's arguing that. But then the questions started stacking up fast. If this is really about drugs, why Venezuela? Why not Colombia? Why not Mexico? Those are the places people already connect to cartel stuff. Instead, Trump went straight for Venezuela's president, took him out, and immediately started talking about charges. And that's where people started feeling like something's not adding up, because here's the part people keep circling back to. Not that long ago, the US seized a Venezuelan oil tanker, and Trump didn't even try to dress it up. He straight up admitted the oil was going to be sold. No dodging, no spin, just said it out loud.
What happens to the oil on that ship? Well, we keep it, I guess.
Where does it go? What port does it go to?
Well, you have to follow the tanker. You're a good newsman, just follow the tanker.
Do you know where it was going? Was it going to China?
Get a helicopter and follow the tanker.
Is it true it's going to
But
Cuba?
we're going to, I assume we're going to keep the oil.
And then it wasn't just critics saying this out loud anymore. Even people on his own side started speaking up. Marjorie Taylor Greene jumped in and basically said, yeah, let's not pretend here. In her words, removing Maduro looks like a move to control Venezuelan oil, lock it down, and set the stage for the next obvious regime change war. And she straight up named Iran. She also pointed out another quiet part people don't like saying out loud, that this move cuts off a major oil source from China. So now everyone's watching this play out like, okay, the leadership is gone, the oil is already in motion, and power is shifting real fast. And at that point, it's hard not to think about how much personal gain could be wrapped up in all of this.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
But then it gets darker, because there's a human cost too. Cuba came out and said that 32 of its personnel, officers who were in Venezuela at Maduro's request, were killed during the U.S. operation that captured him. That's the first clear number tied directly to that raid. Other reports say the total number of people killed could be way higher, maybe 70 to 80, depending on who you believe. And that includes Venezuelan forces and civilians.
A lot of Cubans were killed yesterday, you know that. A lot of Cubans were killed. The bodyguards. No, they're looking, but there was a lot of death on the other side. No death on our side, but there was a lot of death on the other side, unfortunately. But a lot of Cubans were killed yesterday, trying to protect him.
And it doesn't stop there. Since around September 2025, the U.S. military under Trump has been hitting small boats off the Venezuelan coast, calling them drug trafficking vessels. Different reports say those strikes alone may have killed anywhere from about 95 to over 100 people, though some outlets put it a little lower. Either way, when you strip all the politics away, people died. And that's the part that's making this whole situation feel a lot worse. And that's why when Erika Kirk's name comes up in this whole conversation, people don't see it as random at all. Like, it doesn't feel out of nowhere. It feels connected, because when people start digging into Erika's time in Romania, that's where things get a bit crazy. According to online speculation, her whole Romania chapter was intense and fast. Some people even claim she was banned there. Now, to be clear, a lot of this is alleged and not confirmed. But the rumors themselves didn't just pop up for fun. Her ministries, the ones called Romanian Angels and Everyday Heroes Like You, were accused online of doing way more than charity work. The claims say children were being taken under the cover of help and then pushed into sex and organ trafficking networks, mainly tied to the UK and Israel. Again, these are allegations, not proven facts, but people keep saying the same thing. Accusations like that don't usually come from thin air.
Romanian Angels organization, which was an organization that was linked with the US military and accused of underage girls in Romania.
Then there's Erika's past. Before all of this, she worked as a model and a casting director in the early 2000s. Later, she's running an evangelical ministry in Romania, working with US military contacts and operating in an area that's already known for trafficking problems. That overlap alone has people like, wait a minute. And here's the thing, nobody's saying every claim is true. A lot of it is alleged, but it takes a lot for people to even start making accusations that heavy. That's why people keep saying there's no way all of this came out of nowhere. Now add this on top of everything else. There are rumors she's being quietly pushed as a future political figure, even floated as a possible vice president picked next to Vance down the line. And if that's even half true, then suddenly the timing makes people uncomfortable, because starting orphanages, leaning hard into humanitarian work, keeping that clean, caring image online, that's exactly the kind of thing that boosts polls and softens public opinion over time.
Besides the fact that Erika Kirk seems all but destined to be the vice president to J.D. Vance. I mean, seriously, they are propping up this woman as a political figure now.
And that's why Candace is telling people to pay attention now. Venezuela's leadership is gone, the oil is already moving, and suddenly Erika's name is being tied to orphanages there, allegedly with Trump backing her. Once kids and charity enter the picture, criticism gets real quiet. So the question becomes, is this about helping children or about building power and image in a country that was just taken over? Nothing's confirmed yet, but if Erika really shows up in Venezuela, this story is far from done.